Hello, friend. Welcome to the Daily Anchor, a short time set aside for encouragement in your day. We're so glad you've joined us.
Hello, Anchor. Today I want to share with you a story about a time that God used me when I least expected it. So this happened this past fall, so fall of 2019. I was working in a pretty demanding job. I basically was in meetings all day long. Often didn't get a break for lunch. When I did, I usually brought it so I could kind of sneak it in and have it in between a meeting or during a meeting. But every once in a while, I would sneak out of the office, go over to Sweetgreen, get myself a delicious salad, and bring it back to the office to enjoy. And so on this particular day, I don't know if my schedule just cleared up or what, but it was about 1 o'clock and I found that I had a couple hours free. So I thought, yes, I am going to Sweetgreen. So I, go over to Sweetgreen. There's a couple people, pick up my salad. I walk out the door and what's in front of me on the ground? A wallet. And I immediately was like, oh, are you kidding me? I'm going to pick that up. I don't have time to do this. I do not have time to go over there, get this wallet, figure out what to do with it. I have a busy day. I have a lot to do, right? And I'm thinking this as I'm walking towards the wallet because, of course, I'm going to pick it up. This is out on State Street. There's a cab stand right there. There's a lot of people going back and forth. It's right near Faneuil Hall. There's a lot of tourists around. And literally, I'm looking at this wallet and it just looks like there's this ring around the wallet. This little invisible 3-foot ring. And of course, this is all happening quickly. I'm walking towards it. No one else has picked it up and I'm going to get it. I pick it up and I kind of look around am I being punked? I'm not stealing this wallet. Does this belong to anyone? The typical things you do when you find something on the street. I'm not trying to take it. So I look in the wallet, there's no cash. And I'm thinking, okay, hopefully there wasn't cash before. There's a bunch of people going back and forth. There's some girls kind of on the corner looking at me and at the wallet, and everyone seemed okay that I had it. So I saw that there was a license in there and that it belonged to someone from Hawaii. So I thought, okay, this is either a student or this is someone on vacation. And either way, they're going to want this wallet back. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. So I bring it to my office. There's a few engineers around and I'm like, hey guys, we've got a mystery. Let's figure out who this belongs to. We looked through the wallet a little bit. There's some papers, but nothing really to say, a number to call or anything like that. We started looking up, on Google, some phone numbers. I called a few, no answer. I called the Boston Police Department. I said, hey, I found this wallet. They said, great, stick it in a mailbox. We'll send it back. Someone will send it to them. I thought, a whole wallet? That doesn't seem very responsible. I know they maybe do that with IDs, but I don't know, it just didn't feel right. So I went to Facebook and I found this person on Facebook and I messaged them and no response. I think maybe the messages were going to a place where you have to approve them. So I friended her husband, I friended her sister or her sister-in-law. I started messaging all of them. I have this wallet. I need to get this back to you. So finally, I made enough noise on the internet and she contacted me and said, oh, thank you so much. I lost this earlier and I'll come meet you anywhere. Just let me know and I'll be there to meet you. So we decided to meet at the bottom on the sidewalk where my building is at a certain time. So we met there. When I was looking through Facebook, I saw that she was a part of Campus Crusade for Christ and she had some other church posts. I thought, oh, that's cool. Another Christian. I'm glad to help someone out. It's good I picked up this wallet. And so, I meet her and she says, oh, thank you so much. I'm supposed to be getting on a plane tomorrow night. I have my child with me. She actually had a stroller with a baby in it. And she said, I didn't know how I was going to get on this plane. I don't have my passport. So I was really, really worried. And thank you for returning this. And I said, oh, not a problem at all. I said, hey, I noticed on your Facebook page something about like Anchor International. And she said, oh, International Anchor Church. That's my church. Why do you ask? And I said, oh, that's really funny because, you know, my church here in Boston is called Anchor Church. And she just like melted. We both melted. And she was like, oh my goodness. She was like, I was praying and praying and praying that God would, you know, help me find this wallet and that he would just bring someone to reconnect me with this. And I said, well, you know, he chose me. and I found this wallet and there you go. And she said, well, thank you so much. Can I give you a hug? And it was, you know, pre-COVID. So we hugged and we decided to stay friends on Facebook. And so I see her updates sometimes and she's doing well and that's great. And, you know, to me, there was a couple things that came out of that. One is that, you know, God knows what you are willing and what you are not willing to do, right? I was, in the moment, a little annoyed that I found this wallet, right? I said, are you serious? You know I'm going to pick this up, right? And literally, he was like, yeah, I do know you're going to pick it up. That's why you're in this spot right now, so that you can pick this up, right? So I think that, you know, it's important for us to remember that God knows who we are. He knows what we are willing to do. He knows how to best use you. So if you feel like, oh, why doesn't God use me for things? Why don't I get a word for somebody? Why don't I have certain talents that other people have? We are all unique, and he knows our gifts. He knows what we are willing to do and how we are willing to listen to him. So he's probably using you and you don't even realize it, right? But you can actually pray for opportunities, right? And be willing to do the work that he needs you to do. And, you know, when he gives you those opportunities, take them and actually be willing and actually do those things. And I will tell you, you'll start to find more ways that he is using you for different things. The other thing is, you know, you're never too busy for God. You're never too busy for what he needs you to do in that moment. You know, I said, oh, I can't possibly pick this thing up. I don't have time for this. And he was like, yeah, actually you do. So go get it. So I did. And you might say, okay, well, great. That's a wonderful coincidence. And like, yeah, you help someone get a wallet, but why does that matter? I think he used that as a teaching moment for those two things for me. But also, you know, he gave this other person a really wonderful story, a really wonderful testimony that she can also share about how she prayed for help and how God delivered that. And I think for both of us, that church and Anchor Church connection really solidified that God had his hand in this. And it wasn't just a coincidence. I mean, anyone could have picked that up, but he chose to put me there at that time. And he chose to have that coincidence so that we would kind of know that he had a hand in this. And it's like, yeah, it was just a wallet and it just helped someone out that day. But it's a good reminder. It was a good reminder to me to say, actually, you can slow down and you can be available and you can listen to God and do what he asks. And it was also a great blessing to her, you know? I mean, how is she going to get home? She was there with a small child. She didn't have any way to get back on that plane. I imagine her last couple of days in Boston would have been a lot of panic had that not occurred. So, you know, it's a small thing, but it was a really cool experience. And I just really want to encourage you guys to be open to what God asks you to do and to follow through with that. And even if you think it's not important at the time, you know, it might be. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you.
Thanks for joining. We hope to see you again tomorrow.